guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Leila and today I have a tattoo tour video. It's been 2 years since the last time I showed you guys my tattoos, and in the span of these 2 years I actually added quite a few more tattoos that I would love to show you guys, because I have recently decided that for now I'm taking a break from getting tattoos, mostly because I'm out of inspiration, but also because in the last 2 years I got so many tattoos without like thinking long about them that I wouldn't say I regret them, but I'm just like, you know what, there's not a lot of space on my body, you know, I can't just be getting impulsive tattoos anymore. So like honestly for now I'm taking a break for at least a year, I think. And yeah, it's safe to say that the tattoos I'm gonna show you in this video are gonna be the tattoos on my body for a while. So without further ado, let's begin and let me share with you all the tattoos that I have and their meaning and who I got them from. Okay, so first of all, the majority of my tattoos are all fine line tattoos or ornamental fine line tattoos. Each tattoo represents something for me. However, there are some tattoos that are there simply because I really dig the vibe. So previously I showed you my tattoos chronologically as I got them, but today let's just start from top to bottom, because that way it's more entertaining, especially if you already watched my video 2 years ago and maybe you remember stories behind them. So let's just mix it up a bit. And let's start from the very first one you see when you see my face. It's my collarbone tattoo piece. So it actually consists of 2 separate tattoos that I got like 3 months apart, I think. So first I got this one from a tattoo girl that I always go to. So while in Prague, she is my go-to tattoo artist. Her name is Daria, but her nickname is Pink Ink on Instagram. So it's safe to say that like 80% of all of my tattoos are done by her, and this tattoo is no exception, but only this part in the middle. So like I said, I'm really into ornamental tattoos and I just simply enjoy the look of them, so there is no meaning there. Yeah, and I just wanted for a while to get something on my collarbones, but I was always like afraid because this is the part that is very noticeable, just like your hands. So if you're getting tattoos on these parts, you're gonna get a lot of attention. So it took a while for me to get this one, and once I got this one, I honestly was like, it felt empty. Like it felt like it needed something, and then it took me a few months to decide what I wanted. But honestly, I feel like I should have waited it out, because I couldn't decide if I want so leaves. I didn't know if I want them like in this style, like what is this style, like it's kind of like hand poke vibe, but it's not hand poke. But I really wanted like the style of hand poke, or I was thinking to get like proper like floral tattoo. So I was like on the fence about it, and honestly now I still don't know, because sometimes I just think like maybe I should have gotten like more realistic leaves, but I think also it suits the centerpiece much more. So I really wanted to add dots because I love dots. You'll see them a lot. So actually this part of this tattoo I got from a different artist that I'm not gonna mention because I really didn't like the experience. So first of all, my bad that I didn't go to my girl Pink Ink, because she would have done it perfectly. And I think like for others, they cannot see that it's even not the same tattoo artist that did it, that it's like 2 separate tattoos, which is okay, but I think we're our own most critical judges, right? And of course it's like on my body, so I notice these things more than anyone else. But yeah, I went to another tattoo artist because my girl was booked and busy, and I was like, no, I want to get it like as a Christmas present from my husband. I was like, okay, yeah, like bet, let's get it. So I found this girl on Instagram, really liked her works, you know, and it seemed safe. I sent her what I wanted, like some ideas, and then I come there and she shows me something completely not related to my sketch. Well, okay, it wasn't like completely not related, but it was not going in the direction I wanted it. So I just wanted dots and leaves, and she added like some, I don't know, some lines, just like a lot of stuff that I didn't ask for. So I came at 9 a.m. there, and I only got this tattoo done at 1:30 p.m. I know it because I have a photo that has literally a timestamp on it. Maybe even 1:50, something around 1 to 2 p.m. Guys, that's not normal. Like, I came at 9 a.m. She shows me the sketch. Also, like, I hate when tattoo artists don't send your sketch in advance, because like I need some time to decide what's gonna be on my body forever. So I really appreciate tattoo artists who do it. Like Pink Ink, she always shows me like a day or two before, which I love, you know, because it gives me time to think about it, change some details, and I think that's how it should be. I really don't understand the whole like you come and you see the sketch vibe, because like I came, it was 9 a.m. I didn't like it, and it took her like 4 hours to like create the sketch that I wanted, and it took her forever to figure out like how to put dots, how to put leaves. And like eventually when she was done, what I noticed later is that one like part of the leaves was, there was like one line that wasn't there here, so it just was like chaotic. And then I actually had my very first, and I hope the last, tattoo regret, because I just didn't, I think through the fact that it's like always gonna be there, and my collarbones were always my favorite part. And I think for the first 6 months, so pretty much this whole time up until now, I was like considering removing it, or like either redoing it or removing it. But the reason why I decided not to is just I accepted that it's there. Also, the pain from tattoo laser removal, I don't think I can withstand that. I don't think I'm ready for longevity of that process, you know, and it's gonna look even worse, you know, when you're going like there and like in the midst of it all, it's just gonna look bad. So pain, it's expensive, longevity, and the fact that it might not fully go away, and you will need to cover it up either way with something. So yeah, and I think just like realizing that like I need to in the future take my time when deciding what tattoos to get, that was a big moment with this tattoo. So this was like a learning curve, okay? And I never had tattoo regret before, so I think after going through that for months and like honestly like hating it, I realized that okay, maybe it's time to take a break. So that's why right now I'm on a break, okay? But yeah, I can honestly say now that like I grew to like it, and I feel like it suits all the other works. And whatever I find that is wrong, like for example, I see that the dots are like they start spreading and bleeding out, I think it's called in tattoo lingo. I'm not really familiar with all the tattoo jargon, so please forgive me if I'm saying something wrong, but I'm gonna try to do my best. So yeah, like it's not as ideal as my girl usually does it, so that's why I'm not gonna mention who did it, because I just didn't like the whole experience. The girl was really nice, and she has nice like tattoo works on her page, but just somehow this is what she did with me. And when I was showing to my original tattoo girl, Pink Ink, she was not happy with this work either, you know. But I think it's just like if you're a perfectionist and if you like are into fine line tattoos as much as I am, then you like notice it, but I think everyone else doesn't care. So I might still like maybe add some dots that are thinner to make it look more like, you know, like it was supposed to be like that. So these dots are like thicker, and then like smaller dots somewhere. But at the same time, I really don't want to overwhelm my chest with more stuff, because like I said already, adding these, I had a regret because I realized that I don't know if I wanted it. And yeah, that's the stupidest thing, but I'm gonna be honest in this video, like this is the piece that introduced tattoo regret into my life, and I really feel for people who have like major tattoo regrets because their tattoos are just like not suiting them anymore, or turned out awfully wrong, you know, because mine is like like, I know it could have been better, so that's why I'm like, oh, I should have gone to my girl. But I also know that like it looks good. Like right now I look at the viewfinder and I see that it doesn't look awful. So like I honestly, like, people who regret their tattoos have all of my empathy. And that's also why, if you're watching this, before getting any tattoo, please think about it. And don't go to new tattoo artists when you go for like big pieces and in like places that you will see a lot, because if it's not gonna turn out good and you don't know how this person works and how their work heals on you, yeah, it's not the best experience. But like I said, I just honestly, I made peace with it. I think like in the past 7 months that I had it already, like, I'm okay with it, so it's okay. Okay, next piece is my like sternum tattoo, and I already showed it to you in my previous tattoo tour. I have a video actually, like right when I got it, like explaining the pain and everything and the meaning, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. But yeah, it's one of my, no, it's actually, it was my first like big piece. I cannot show it to you right now because I'm wearing this cute little dress, but I'm gonna show you B-roll so you can actually see. Yeah, so it's a moon and a rose and some like dot work again, and on top of it, what you can see between my boobies is a star. So it's a bit like thicker than other works, but I honestly don't mind it because it looks great. And like I said, I got it done I think in 2019, yeah, right before COVID, and I got it done in Almaty, my hometown, from a tattoo artist that I always go to when I'm in Almaty. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing her account name. It's really like complicated. There's like HHX and like stuff like that, so I'm just gonna write it here. But she's really good, and whenever I come back to Almaty, I hit her up. And this one wasn't my first tattoo with her, it was second, but we're gonna get to the first in a minute. Okay, so next, moving to my first tattoo in general. I got it when I was 23. It was my first tattoo after years of wanting tattoos. I finally got my first one, and it's the word freedom in Arabic, and it's pretty big, it's pretty thick, but I don't regret it at all, because first of all, like, it represents a lot for me. So the word freedom in itself, for me, it was a way to kind of separate from my parents, you know, psychologically speaking, because I was always like trying to be a good girl for my dad, especially for him to be proud of me, and like if he's against something, I'm not gonna do it, you know. But I think tattoos became my act of rebellion, and I love that. And my dad absolutely hates them. My family in general like is more conservative about like tattoos, as it's very common for Middle Eastern and Asian families. So it's just like, I know people disapprove, but I love them and I find them very beautiful, and I like, I don't regret anything besides this one. But I stopped regretting it. So anyways, yes, it's big because I really wanted it to be big, because it was my first tattoo, and at the time I thought it was my one and only tattoo, and I was like, let's make it as big as possible. Everyone needs to know I got a tattoo. So yes, maybe now if I would get this tattoo, it would be smaller, thinner, different artist, different, you know, style. But at the time, it was like what I knew, what I found that I liked. The artist, actually, I don't even remember her nickname or anything, because it was like 7 years ago, 6 years ago, yeah, 6 years ago. So I only got one more tattoo from her, and that was it. And then I opened the world of fine line tattoos. And I think also tattoo is a journey, like getting tattoos, like it's like each of them represents a certain period, and maybe some things that were trendy at the time. Like you see people who have tattoos that you don't see on younger girls now, but like girls in their 30s, maybe 40s, I don't know, like you can tell like that was trending back when they were like teenagers or early 20s, you know what I mean? So I think honestly, like, my tattoos to me represent a lot of things, not just like the meaning I put in them, but also just overall what I was going through when I was getting them, for example. So yeah, I love my freedom tattoo, don't regret it at all, love that it's there. But then as I got my first tattoo on my ribs, I really wanted to add something to the other side. So when I went to Almaty to get, I think, the rose, I also got like a few days later from my same Almaty tattoo artist, I am my own muse. So this was my idea. I saw like on Pinterest someone like had a tattoo, something like about love yourself or something like that, but like the idea of this font being like typewritten and then like cursive together, you know? So I really enjoyed that idea and I came up with my own take on it. So I am my own muse. I really love this quote, and at the time especially, like, it was for me to clearly tell myself that I am my own muse. Like, I am that creative force behind my creativity. It was like creative take on believe in yourself, you know what I mean? Okay, now moving on to my back, I only have one small tattoo down my spine. Also have a video where I explain more this tattoo. This is the first tattoo I got from the girl in Almaty. And the writing is the quote, "Admire the flames of my fire, in these flames I cannot fit." So this is a line from the poem of an Azerbaijani poet from the 14th century, Nasimi. It's in English because I am not that fluent in Azerbaijani to, you know, put it in Azerbaijani. So I just wanted this poem but in a language that I understand, so that's why it's in English. And also at the time why I got it is because I was going through like this period where I felt a lot of judgment from people around me, people that don't really know me well but like put labels on me or like make me feel some way. And it was like, you only see my fire, and even in that fire I cannot fit. Like, I'm so much more than what you see, I'm so much more than what you perceive. And you can admire my flames, but that's not all I am, you know? So like, as this poet was a Sufi poet, you can tell like it has this like deeper meaning, mystical meaning, which I love, and it means a lot to me. So also no regrets there, love that work. And I don't even see it a lot, but I know it's there. I know like people, whenever they are looking at my back, they're looking at my tattoo and I'm like, admire the flames of my fire. Okay, let's move to my hands then, and let's start from this one. So this is one of those tattoos I got when I was like getting a lot of tattoos without like kind of thinking about them too much. So this one is also pink ink. So at the time I was fired from my dream job. At the time I thought it was my dream job, but it really wasn't, and it was for the better. It was the first time I was fired, and it was very heartbreaking. Also the way it was done, like, really made me feel like I'm not good enough, you know? So I decided to get this tattoo as a reminder to myself that no matter what is going on, no matter what people say, I am a writer. And that is why it's like two hands. One is holding a book and the other is holding a pen. I think a lot of people don't even notice that this hand is holding a pen. They just think it's a hand holding a book as well. But yeah, it's not just like reading books. It means writing them. So, and the book has butterflies coming out of it because I believe that the process of writing is creating this beautiful world, and words have power. So yeah, and right after I got this tattoo, I actually got a job, so even better one. So it was all for the better, and it really helped me believe in myself. So I do think that tattoos have special meaning and they can change your life. And like, by getting this tattoo as a reminder to myself, I also attracted the right opportunity for me that was much better than what I was fired from. And since then, my self-belief in my abilities has only grown stronger. Okay, next is my snow leopard and apple tree flowers. So this tattoo actually was done recently in January when I visited my hometown, Almaty. So it was done by the same girl that does my tattoos when I'm in Almaty. She actually travels a lot now, I think. So it's really lucky that whenever I come home, she is also there and not traveling, and I'm able to get my tattoos from her when I'm there. I just prefer going to the same tattoo artists because I know they did a good job and I know they will do a good job again, and just like the vibes are there and like there's no disappointment. So that's like my thing. Majority of my tattoos are from the same two artists, you know, in Prague and in Almaty, but there are some, like my first tattoo and this one, that were done by other people. But my two go-to girls are the ones that, you know, I have the most tattoos from. So yeah, basically why leopard, snow leopard, not just any leopard, snow leopard and apple tree flowers is because it is a symbol of my hometown, Almaty. I think, guess it's gonna be 10 years next year since I moved away from home. I am finding this newfound love for my hometown that is more like nostalgic. So I just really wanted to have something on my body to represent where I come from, and whenever I miss home, I just look at this tattoo and I feel like my home is with me. Moving on, we have self-made written here in the red ink in the Old English font. I wanted this tattoo for I think like 4 years, so I got it recently. This is one of the last tattoos I got. This one I got from a tattoo artist whose nickname on Instagram is Blue Glue, and she works actually with like small tattoos, fine line tattoos. So she's perfect if you are coming to Prague or you live in Prague. If you want small tattoos, thin line tattoos, she is your go-to girl, and she's really nice and really pleasant, so I can definitely recommend her. So I wanted this tattoo for a long time. Like I had it literally sitting in my folder, like I created, you know, the writing and everything. Like I just created the tattoo and it was like sitting there waiting for the right opportunity, and then I finally decided to go and get like 3 small tattoos all together, and this one was one of them, and we'll get to the other 2 when we get to this hand. So yeah, self-made, do I need to explain? Like, it's about me making myself, you know, and being proud about it, because a lot of the times I think if you come from like unprivileged families, you might feel some sort of resentment towards the fact that you were not given as many opportunities as like some people who come from better backgrounds, you know, or let's say wealthy families. And so for me it was just like, yes, okay, but like everything that I have, I made it happen myself, and that's something to be proud of, you know, not something to be sad about, you know. So actually I took something that would make me, I don't know, probably upset or just feel resentment. So I took that and turned it into something to be proud of. So that's why it's there. And then we're moving to this piece that I get the most compliments on, and like I love it so much. So at first it was just this tattoo. I think it actually was the only tattoo on my hand, like to this part, when I was showing you guys my tattoos 2 years ago. So this was like the first big piece that's visible, because I had this one like years before this one, but it was like, it's still hidden, you know. This is the tattoo that got me in trouble with my dad. He was so disappointed, but I think after this one he was less and less disappointed. Like the disappointment was just there, so there was no new waves of it. It was just like continuously there. So I think this one was the most heartbreaking for me to show to my dad, because like I knew he is gonna be upset, but I really love it. And I think also for me was like the way to break that fear of like, oh my god, like if my family sees my tattoos. So since then I started getting tattoos on my hands, and on my collarbone, and you know, yeah, everything changed with this tattoo. But I really wanted it for years. I actually went to Pink Ink for the first time with the sketch of this tattoo. It was just like this very amateur sketch, and I just knew I want a moon. I knew I want this style, and this was like my first ornamental work that now kind of like influenced all the future tattoos. So, and I love that. So yeah, she created this tattoo from my sketch, and she, like, that's how I knew she's the one, because she did exactly what I asked for. Unlike some people that just like took forever to get just dots and leaves, and even then I was like, what the hell, you know? So yeah, definitely love Dasha Pink Ink. She is my girl, love her. And then I think a few months later, well, maybe not a few, probably like 6 months later or something like that, I went for my hand piece tattoo. I actually have a video about hand tattoos, like, you know, so maybe watch it if you are thinking about hand tattoos. So yeah, when I got this one, I was so afraid of disapproval of my family that I didn't go fully for like hand tattoo. As this is like henna inspired tattoo, I really like wanted it to look like a henna tattoo. So later on, I was looking at like henna design photos on Pinterest, and I was like, no, I really want to add it here. Like, it feels like it's not finished, and I did add it here. And let me tell you, one thing about hand tattoos and finger tattoos is that they are fading a lot. You will need corrections, and even after corrections, like I think I had 3 corrections, and I think after this I can have more. Like, even after corrections, you know, it's not like, if you compare how clean this one is, this one looks like it's washed out, because it is, because you wash your hands a lot. So that's something to consider, especially if you're getting fine line tattoo on your hand, on your fingers. It's worth it, but you really need to find a good artist to do it. So yeah, these two really don't have meaning, but I just love the ornamental look of them, and like, it's my favorite piece, honestly. Then we're moving to my fingers, and let me show you both hands, because I have identical finger tattoos on both of them. So index fingers have a setting sun, middle fingers have a moon with some dots there, ring fingers have a star. This is how this star was supposed to look like. So this star was supposed to look like this, but I don't know why it turned out this way, but I don't mind. Like, honestly, no regrets. It is what it is. And then my pinkies have just dots, just cute dots. But then when I got this piece done, I was like, you know, something needs to be added here, because it just looks like, you know, not finished. So I added lotus here, because, you know, it goes with the whole vibe of ornamental tattoos, leaves and dots, more dots. This looks like, you know, like jewelry piece, I think it's called in tattoo world. So this hand is definitely like, it has more going on there. I possibly think about adding something here and like in these parts that are empty, because that's how it is. Once you get tattoos, you just need to add more and more. But as I said, for now I'm taking a break, so we'll see about that. But let's move to this hand. So I already showed you my finger tattoos here. Also, finger tattoos done by Pink Ink. Next tattoo is also done by Pink Ink, but in 2 sessions, because, let me remove my watch. First I got the sun. So this represents the sun, because I really wanted something that would match this one, but at the time it was only up to here, and then this one was like here. This is also why I was like, okay, now I need to add something here, because they don't match. And you know what, it's okay, I don't want them to be identical. I love them the way they are. Here I'm not gonna add anything else. Oh my god, I forgot to show you guys here one more tattoo. This was my second tattoo by the same artist who did my Arabic writing, and this one says Yarat, which in Azerbaijani, as you see, like, me being Azerbaijani, and like, it means a lot to me. So I have like that Azerbaijani poem on my back, and I have Yarat, which is create in Azerbaijani. And I got it at the time when I was like going to this job that I hated, and it was not creative at all. I just graduated from my university. I got my bachelor's in journalism, and I was doing more of an admin work, and I was really depressed. I was really disappointed. So I got this tattoo as a reminder to myself that I need to create no matter what. Like, I would put out videos on YouTube as my way to still be creative, because like my job was not giving me any joy. So I was like, no matter what I'm going through, like I need to always find a way to use my creativity. So as you see, like a lot of my tattoos are like my messages to myself. So for example, this one, the same way, this was a message to myself to write, and this one was a message to create. So I didn't want to write it in English because like I didn't want people to understand. I wanted it to be like a little message to myself, and it's actually written by my best friend who does calligraphy like professionally. She's really good at it. So I wanted a unique font that you cannot download from the internet, which my other writing tattoos are just fonts downloaded from the internet, but this one is my friend's writing, which also means a lot. Like, now moving back to this one, so first I had this piece which was like sun and just like, I don't know, fine line tattoo, dots, etc. And then I was kind of like looking at it and hating it. I was like, what the fuck does this even mean, you know? And then I was like, oh my god, this was like, actually this was my first tattoo regret. And then I don't know how it came to me, but I decided to add a snake. And it was the best decision ever, because I love this tattoo now and it looks like it was there all the time. So I went back to pink ink. I was like, listen, I hate this tattoo and let's add a snake. And she was able to very delicately add snake exactly where those previous dots were. So it looks like it was like supposed to be like that. So I don't know, this is artistry, honestly. Love, love, love this work. Then I have one of my latest tattoos that I got from Blue Glue, and this is Unalome. So Unalome is both a Hindu and a Buddhist sign. I'm not a religious person, and I honestly would consider myself spiritual. Like, I admire something about every religion and I respect each and every single religion, and like if it gives people hope and peace, you know, that's all that matters. Like, if you find meaning in a certain religion. I am more of a spiritual person. Like, I do believe there is something bigger, but I can't fit my belief system into one. Therefore, getting Unalome, I'm not practicing Buddhism or Hinduism, but I just really like what this sign represents. So it's basically a path to enlightenment, where, you know, it's like you start here and then like as you live, these are the paths that life takes you on before you reach the enlightenment. And even then, like once this ends, there's a dot here, which means like there's something after, you know, this path is over, there's like a dot after. So it's a very deep meaning. So I think it's one of the very popular tattoos to have. I see it on a lot of other girls, but I think as it is a sign that is meant to be understood by people globally, I think it's understandable that many people find some peace in this sign. So moving on, I don't know how to show you. I'll either way be inserting like b-rolls with close-ups, but this is a bracelet, red ink bracelet, also done by Blue Glue, and this is samsara, which is in Buddhism a symbol of life and death and rebirth. Like, it never ends. It always keeps on going, basically. And if you want, you can like research more. It's a really beautiful, again, like philosophy that speaks to me, and that's why I decided to put it on. It's beautiful and it's it has meaning. So I put it in a bracelet so it goes around, and I really like it. It's like one of my favorite pieces and one of the last pieces that I got, actually. Next is, let's start with Synchronicity. This is by Pink Ink, and I already showed it to you in my previous tattoo tour. So basically, in Carl Jung's book Synchronicity, the concept of synchronicity is explained exactly the way I believe in it, so it's not just a word for me. So basically it's like a belief that there's no such thing as a coincidence. Everything is synchronized in the universe, like everything was meant to be. And yeah, I really enjoyed reading that book, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put it right here. So it's very minimalistic but important piece. And then this one is the tattoo from an tattoo artist in Slovenia. So I lived there for 2 years, and this is the only tattoo I got while living there, because I just couldn't find a tattoo artist that I liked, unfortunately. And when I found this girl, like you can see the result, it's absolutely like it's stretched out, and it's like all like black and dark, especially if you compare it to Synchronicity or any other piece. Even like these dots that I'm so angry about now, like it's nothing compared to this. But this has a meaning, because this is a matching tattoo I got with my husband. This is our date of our marriage anniversary, so deep meaning. So I don't mind that it looks like it. Honestly, it is what it is. I accepted it, I made peace with it, and I kind of don't even notice that it's there, so it's fine. And then the last piece is the one on my hip, on my right hip. I'm just gonna insert the b-roll, and that is Flawless red ink. What it means is basically, if you're a Beyonce fan like me, you know she has a song called Flawless. I love that song, but also putting that word on my hip where I have my stretch marks, there's self-love meaning there, that I'm flawless. You know what? Like, I should love myself the way I am. I'm beautiful the way I am. You're beautiful the way you are. So there's that small reminder to myself. So that's it for today. I feel like it always feels like I have so many tattoos, but then once I'm done with this, I'm like, oh, that's it. Not that many, I guess. But yeah, like I said, taking a break from tattoos for now. Maybe in a year you'll see like some new pieces, but for now I'm good. And I think after getting this one too fast, too soon, I realized that it's best to give yourself a few years before you jump the gun, you know, because it's there forever. So this is a reminder for you. Before you get any tattoos, think about it, not just for a month or two. Take a whole damn year, because that way you will know for sure you definitely want it. And lastly, I don't really regret this tattoo anymore, but I just really wanted to be honest, because I also was sharing like my regret right after I got it on my Instagram, and I feel like it's fair to share that like getting tattoos can come with moments of regret, but you either learn to love them or you choose to get rid of them, which then like is costly, painful, etc. So I can say like I accepted it and I don't hate it anymore. I even grew to like it, but I do sometimes think like I would like to add something, but then I'm like, it's gonna be too much. Otherwise, all of my tattoos have a certain meaning. Even those that have no meaning, eventually they happen to have a meaning that represents a certain period when I got them. So that's it from me for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, click that bell to get notified about my new videos. Leave the comments down below letting me know which tattoo you liked. If you don't like tattoos, keep it to yourself. No one cares, honestly. Really, no one does. Why are you even watching this video? Why did you make it so far if you don't like tattoos, huh? So yeah, to each their own. Let's just respect each other and our own choices, right? And then we'll all find peace in this world. Namaste. I'll see you guys. Bye bye.